Like the hands of an ancient sculptor, the great glaciers shaped what we know as the Beaver Hills, an island on a vast sea of Canadian prairie. For thousands of years, this oasis of bush and grassland gave sanctuary to wildlife that thrived in peace and isolation. By 1900, civilization had closed in on the Beaver Hills, and one of the largest existing herds of elk in Canada had been slaughtered to near extinction. In 1906, yet another elk hunt began. 5 men from the Fort Saskatchewan, Alberta area, fearing the annihilation of the elk, offered their own money to fence in the remaining animals if the federal government provided the land. By 1907, 24 elk were enclosed in a makeshift preserve, just an hour's drive from Edmonton. An act of Parliament declared the area Elk Island Dominion Park, the first federal wildlife sanctuary in Canada, a sanctuary for the elk and later other endangered species. This is the only fenced national park in Canada. 192 square kilometers, with one of the world's highest animal densities. As the original fence went up around the elk, a herd of plains bison, threatened with extinction, was temporarily housed at Elk Island. Not all the bison traveled on to the new preserve. Some eluded capture and found a permanent home in the park. The blessing of a sanctuary is also a curse. Maintaining a balance within the fence is the daily challenge facing the Park Warden Service.
Weights on.
Since Elk Island has no large predators, from time to time the elk herd exceeds the park's capacity. Their numbers must be controlled. Today, there are about 700 elk in the park, but even that's too many to support. The surplus elk are trapped in small groups and transported from all corners of the park to holding areas until there are enough animals to ship. The process takes time, skill, and patience.
Oh, it wasn't ripped until you got excited.
In the confines of a truck, the bull elk may turn on other animals. His antlers must be trimmed. In spite of the noise of cutting and the flying bone dust, the process is as painless as cutting a fingernail. And by next season, the elk's crown will have grown back.
No, it's chipped off.
It's chipped off. It'll come off. Well done. Come on, in there, Al. Hey, come on. 2 bulls, 1 spiker, 2 females, and a yearling. Ed, we've got 6 ready here for shipping.
The elk leave the park for Saskatchewan, British Columbia, and other areas of Canada and the world where elk herds are given new life.
Look at things here. We've got a fair number of elk and bison using this meadow this year. Grazing is fairly patchy though.
This looks fairly typical as far as the grazing area goes.
Okay, that looks like a good place for the plot. Okay, it looks like this plot's mostly got bluegrass in it, a little clover.
Some yarrow in here.
The park encompasses a fragile ecosystem. For a time, nests of the red-necked grebe were scarce on Astoten Lake because of park boaters. In 1974, power boating was banned, and now the grebe is flourishing. Wardens constantly observe park wildlife so as to better plan the active management of Elk Island. Beavers were once trapped to extinction in the Beaver Hills. Park Sanctuary eliminated trapping and hunting, and beavers have found their way back to Elk Island. Flooding from their dams can damage park facilities and neighboring farmland. So in certain areas, the dams are blown up to control water levels. The park scavengers, the coyotes, come and go freely, curious but wary, usually unseen. Census counts have to be done by recording howling patterns.
That sounds like a family group.
We got a good response here yesterday.
Yeah, they're coming in really good.
Corralled bison can be dangerous. Safety areas and rifles are standard precautions. Like the elk that are relocated, the overflow of bison at Elk Island is shipped from the park to become the foundation of many other herds.
Easy ball. Easy ball. Easy ball. Pull that from the other side. Pull that door open. This guy is on the loop.
Watch this one.
Come on. Get in there, Bo. Come on. Hey.
Great care is taken to maintain a disease-free herd. Each year, some of the bison are tested for brucellosis and tuberculosis. With a clean bill of health, surplus plains bison are sold to the public, while the still endangered wood bison are relocated. The park's interpretive service helps people understand the resource management programs that go on behind the scenes and understand the delicate balance within this fenced sanctuary. Elk Island is an island of protection for wildlife and their habitat. It's also an island of nature in a landscape of agriculture, industry, and city life. Edmonton is only 32 kilometers away.
Yeah.
Let go. Let go.
Oh, here's an unused rod.
The trumpeter swan is one of the most endangered birds in Canada. Trumpeter swan females and orphan cygnets are brought to the park in hopes that next spring some will return to make Elk Island their home. Elk Island has become the foster parent to generations of endangered species. Like the replenished elk and bison herds that now dot the Canadian landscape, every trumpeter swan that may one day return to Elk Island is a tribute to a tradition of conservation that began here.